cloth numbers worn by the horses. The horses' names are listed corresponding with those numbers. Then under the column headed 15 minutes, that was the tote price, thank you, at 15 minutes to start time. And you can see there, for example, that Bell Cab number 1 was at $8.60 there. All the prices are in white with the exception of the favourite, which is designated in the green colouring. And that, at this stage, there was number 4 Royal Bellotto. Now, with 6 minutes to go, we look at the yellow column because that's the current tote odds for all runners in this field. And you can see those who have firm, for example, number 1 Bell Cab, it was $8.60, now it's $6.80. Number 2 All A Blur Is An Easer, it was $9.70 8 or 9 minutes ago, it's now $10.90. The favourite Royal Bellotto is currently at $3.70, so it has eased just a smidgen. And we'll transfer that column now at the 5 minute mark over to its a column of its own. And of course, in the next minute or two of betting the yellow column, the current odds will change again. It does enable us to follow the betting trends you saw in that previous race at Bendigo, how significant they are, with the winner firming from $7.10 into pay $3.80. And down the bottom in the blue panel, the current pools. The W is for win, we've got 47,000 plus in that. P is for place, that's nudging 30,000. Quinella pool, 7,750. The exacta, that's the E, doesn't apply on this race. And the trifecta pool is already has top 10,000. So an explanation for those not so familiar with betting forms. Now you can get to it, you know what to do. 4 minutes to the start of race 3 at Sandown, so we'll go out to our on-site expert, John Bell.
Yeah, thanks very much, Keith. A little bit of a turnaround with the bookmakers here in that Portland Pirate is actually the favourite, marginally ahead of Royal Bellotto. Portland Pirate is having his first start today. A nice lump of a colt. He's a half-brother to the Victoria Derby winner, Portland Player, but opened up pretty short with the bookmakers at $4. He's drifted out a quarter point, and you're a half point longer out to Royal Bellotto, who's trained by John Maher, who has a good team of horses in today. John, Royal Bellotto firstly, last run at Sandown, got to the line pretty well behind the stablemate Showing Aces.
Yeah, I thought he ran pretty good, John. Drew bad. We elected to come back, which was didn't help him a great deal as it turned out. But I thought he got to the line pretty good. The second horse has gone. He went to Brisbane and won pretty good. So with a little bit better alley today, I expect him to be a little closer. And I hope he can run on strong. I think he will. I have that impression that he will on his work and on his last run.
Well, it looks like it's shaping like a fairly strong form race, considering the Pacific Trail's gone into Brisbane, put the blinkers on and won easily, and you have a pretty good reputation. Pretty good rap on your horse Showing Aces.
Yeah, well, he's a good horse, John. I've gulled him in his spelling, so yeah, so the form might stand up.
Well, John, that's the first of your runners today. We go on to race 4 then. Lucky Tycoon's resuming today. Does like a bit of cut in the ground, and a horse that's shown a lot of promise, although he's had his fair share of troubles.
Yeah, he looked like being a really good horse early in his career, and he had to have chips removed from knees, but I prefer him on more of an affected track, but he's fresh and he always runs well fresh, John. But he'll run well, but I would have been a little more confident if the track had been maybe slow, but the track's really good looking at it.
Yep. Okay, we go on to race 5 then. You've got Straight Clip. You've opted to put the blinkers on the second time, this horse?
Well, if you look at him, John, he's been reasonably consistent without winning, and it's not easy winning anywhere today, so if that can put a length on him, 2 lengths on him, I think that'll be the deciding factor, because he doesn't win very often. He's only won 3 out of 26 or 27, so yeah, I don't think that'll hurt him at all.
You're hoping that'll make the difference between him winning and losing?
Well, I thought his run was pretty good the other day. The form stood up. There's 3 or 4 horses that finished around him that all gone and won, so if he can be genuine and he can improve a length or 2, he'll be right in the finish.
You've also put the blinkers on Miss McCartney, who was an impressive winner here 2 starts back.
Yeah, I thought the last 2 runs she was disappointing. I thought Caulfield she was really disappointing. I don't feel under pressure she really tried. I don't think she raced genuine at all, and I don't think blinkers will hurt her at all.
And finally, Chicago Clip in the last, resuming from a spell today, but has reasonable form last campaign.
Well, he ran good up the straight, and he just pulled up a bit sore. He's only knees sore and joints sore. He's quite a heavy little colt, so I just said we'll just stop off him and try him in the off season. But I expect him to run on. He trialled pretty good. We had special gallops at Werribee owing to Flemington being and a little bit of repair. He went to Werribee and trialled pretty smartly. But he's a gross horse. I think whatever he does today, he'll improve a lot on. But he'll run on pretty good.
So you won't have the 5 winners today then?
Oh, well, we intend to. That's another thing. No, I think they'll run pretty good, and 1 or 2 of them win. We'll be pretty happy about that.
What would be the best of them, John?
Well, I suppose this little horse in this race, you can't leave him out. He's quite fit and he's fought and the form's really strong, really. He's very lightly raced, of course, and I think he's probably the best. But we'll know in a few minutes, about 1 minute actually.
OK, John, we'll let you go and have a look.
Thanks.
John Maher there, who has a terrific team of horses in today. We'll have a quick look at the betting here. Bell Cab's tightened up on the tote, a full point into $4.50. Good value, the tote. All the Blues at its right price on the tote at this stage. Riva Veins drifted out to double figure odds, but represents value. Royal Bellotto on the tote now, getting out to around about its price. It's $4.50 in the ring, a drift of half point. Number 5 has been a drifter. It's had one run at Kilmore. Ran second there, beaten a length and a half. It's its right price on the tote, roundabout. Bonhomie Lad right out the gate. And Portland Pirate is now drifted a bit and is second favourite at the $5 quote. Final Exhibit has also drifted out to around the $7.50 mark, so some value there. Mindanet also kept reasonably safe at around $15 to $16. All the other runners, bar Fra Diavolo, have drifted. Fra Diavolo's only about a $13 chance, so good value on the tote. They're getting pretty close to a start here, but I hope you enjoyed that information from John Maher because he looks like playing a big hand. They're set to go. Here's Brian.
Well, Portland Pirate missed it a good 2 lengths. He only walked out of the gates, Portland Pirate, and All the Blur bounced and ran straight to the front, settling down now from Bellcab, quickly going up second. Final Exhibit is up running third. They're followed by Chipsedown and Functional pushing up in the middle. Further back then came Riva Vein around the outside from Mindanet, and on the inside Itmar. Then Fra Diavolo one further back just on midfield as Royal Bellotto 2 lengths further back. Portland Pirates picked up its ground on the outside of Academics. 3 to Functional, dropping well back in the race. Back there with it is Bonhomie Lad on the side, and Riva Vein in the centre. Now on the outside, about 3/4 in front from Bellcab inside it. All the Blues back on the fence, a length and a half. Final Exhibit on the outside of it. Then came Chipsedown, Mindanet just in front of those. On the inside is Itmar from Royal Bellotto. Well back Portland Pirate, Fra Diavolo, Academics, Bonhomie Lad, and back on the inside Functional in the straight. All the Blur on the inside, straightens in front from Riva Vein out deep, and Bellcab quickly going up in the middle. Bellcab and Riva Vein hit the front from Final Exhibit. Then came Royal Bellotto and Portland Pirate coming right down the extreme outside. Bellcab and All the Blur down at the 150 metre mark, 3 or 4 lengths in front of Riva Vein. Final Exhibit, Portland Pirate making good ground. Bellcab has got the upper hand over All the Blur, and Bellcab's coming on to win. 3/4 All the Blur, 2-8 third is Portland Pirate, a good run. Then Royal Bellotto up in the centre, followed by Final Exhibit. Further back then came Fra Diavolo, followed by in the middle Academics. Back behind them Riva Vein pulled up quickly from Chipsedown, followed by Itmar. Mindanet as well back in the field, and the last couple of Bonhomie Lad back there with it is Functional.
Well, it's been a very big go, the winner, as John Bell told us. Number 1, Bellcab. It's firmed in from $8 something to run favourite and pay $4.40 the win and $1.50 the place. Have a look at the size of this 2-year-old gelding by Bellotto. Look at that. He should pick on someone his own size. He looks like a very mature horse, and he raced like 1-2. The numbers will be 1, 2 and 10. And the winner, Bellcab, is Vobis qualified.
The winner of the previous race has just won a Super Vobis bonus. Only horses qualified for Super Vobis race for millions of dollars in bonus prize money. Super Vobis, Alitalia, Abercrombie and Kent. Simply the best way to travel.
Well, there's the big fellow Bellcab. Just out of my way, kiddo. Throwing sand in the eyes of little All the Blur on its inside.
He's particularly tall, isn't he, Keith?
Yes.
He sort of towers
now,
over
watch
the
for
horse.
the Kingston Town colours. You're about to see them. Yellow, red striped sleeves and cap. These are the colours carried by Portland Pirate, the first starter from the Lee Friedman camp.
The nose is about to come in the screen now.
Between the pair chasing the Quinella horses.
Here it is.
It missed the start. There it is, wider out I meant, yes. There it is on the outside of the horses chasing the Quinella horses. That's a good run. Portland Pirate missed the start a couple of lengths. Last at the home turn, bearing in mind it's a half-brother to a Derby winner, and that's a very impressive performance, albeit Wednesday at Sandown. But I think that was enough to say this horse, Portland Pirate, has a future. He's got up to run third, number 10. And he has paid $2.30 the place. A Quinella 1 and 2 has paid very well at $27.40, and so too has the trifecta at $255.20, and the running double for a pair of ones. Now that's a good dividend also. The previous winner was Shiosaki, who paid about $2.40,
and huge divvy.
And Bellcab paying less than 7 to 2.
Yeah, the late money for the horse, $8 into about $8.50 into $4.40 is obviously not been reflected there in the running double where everyone's money was locked away 3/4 of an hour earlier.
True. 5 starts now for Bell Cab, this big fellow coming back. Alf Matthews in great form. And Bell Cab is trained by Ken Sweeney out of his satellite stable at Morfordville. He's been much travelled in his 5 runs. He's had 3 in South Australia, all at different tracks, Victoria Park, Morfordville and Cheltenham. And at his previous run, when Alf Matthews rode him here, it was a nice run, beaten only 3 lengths in a big field behind Showing Aces. So that was a good run. Right on his heels there was Royal Bellotto, who ran favourite in that race. Or second favourite. It was favourite until Bell Cab took over in the last minute of betting. It was the disappointment of the race. Bell Cab and All Blur gapped the others in the eye-catching performance from the third place getter, Portland Pirate. There he is there. This is coming to the home turn, mind you. He's missed the start a couple of lengths. He's last around the home turn in a 1200 metre race. Steve King takes him, eases him out. Well, there was one behind him. A couple behind him, just before the home turn he was last. As he was saying, he led round the...
He was midfielder.
He was near last, Adam. And he's out of picture shot now. So he's probably, 12 lengths off the leaders at this stage?
I'd say he was 12 lengths off when they straightened up. Yeah,
yes.
No question about that.
He's still not in the picture, and he continues to pull ground. He's probably still 8 lengths from the leaders. We're about to see... his brown head, there it is, and he runs on most impressively. I would imagine that owners David and Helen Haynes and trainer Lee Friedman would be delighted with that debut of Portland Pirate. Let's go back to Sandown and to John Bell post-race.
As we do, Johnny, who was the horse in the yellowy colours that ran about 4th or 5th there? Didn't quite finish with the gusto of the third horse, but was still a pretty good run.
That was Royal Bellotto, one of the favourites there, Adam, number 4 in the Ron and Dorothy Cook colours. And, yep, that's it, number 4 there, Royal Bellotto, just ahead of the Hayes Runner final exhibit. So some good runs there. Now, the winner's trained by Ken Sweeney. Alan Johns is representing the stable today. Alan, a big horse, and he really toughed it out to the finish.
Yes, John, he's makings of a fair horse. Still a little bit green, but he raced very well today, more tractable. Been a bit green these last couple of races. With racing, that'll come out of him.
Well, it could be the start of a very good day for you because you've got 3 more runners and all look to have pretty good chances. We'll kick off with News Force in the next race.
Yes, John, he's probably more of a wet tracker, but he's first up, he does race well fresh. Distinct, she's always an honest mare, and Born Brave, he hasn't done much wrong.
Well, Born Brave won impressively last start, beating Carolina Moon. It's trained on all right from that?
Yeah, she's done everything right. I've been away for a couple of weeks, but Philip said the horse had done very well, and he looks well.
Well, it's certainly a big operation, the Ken Sweeney operation. You've recently moved to Melbourne to run the Flemington stable?
Yeah, just the time being we have, yeah. Been with Ken a long time and just change our structure a little bit, and it might turn down here for a while.
Well, it's nice to have a new environment. It keeps you fresh as well as the horses, I suppose.
Yep, it is.
All right, Alan, well, best of luck. You've kicked the day off well and looks like you might have 3 more chances to get another winner.
We'll be doing our best.
Alan Johns there, representing the Ken Sweeney stable, who had Bell Cab win there, and it was quite a good go with the bookmakers. 9-2 into 7-2 equal favourite. All Blur fought back valiantly on the fence at 8-1, and Portland Prince, after opening up at 3-1, got out to 4-1, but certainly an eye-catching effort. Just behind him, the equal favourite, Royal Bellotto. But really, from the corner on, it really was a race in 2 with Bell Cab and All Blur fighting out the finish there. So that's race 3 at Sandown. All over. We're going to take a break now, and on the other side we've got more action from Bendigo and of course Sandown.
I'm Michelle Louise. Thanks for joining us here on Fashion Talks. Hope you've all had a fantastic week. I certainly have.
Join Michelle Louise Tuesdays at 8:30 for Fashion Talks.
Really lovely. The guys are also getting out there in a lot of plaid.
Tips, the latest ranges and the best stores for anyone with a passion for fashion.
And I wanted to send a message out to everyone saying that you don't have to be a somebody to get ahead.
Why not wear tails?
Fashion Talks with Michelle Louise. Tuesdays at 8:30, repeated Thursdays at 10:30. Here on Channel 31.
Everybody loves a Saturday night.
And you'll love Saturday night's harness racing at Moonee Valley. Star 3-year-olds, Safe and Sound, Persistency and Smooth Dixie spearhead the challenges in the semi-finals of the Vic Bred Super Sires for the Colts and Geldings. While Victoria's Open Class stars Denver Gift and Harley Hanover renew acquaintances in the Caduceus Club Free-for-All. If you can't be there, catch all the action live from around Australia on Channel 31.
Everybody loves a Saturday night.
Hawthorn football, a little bit flat at the moment. Dog on fire at the moment. Let's check out the battle between the two and see if anything...
Join Channel 31 for the Mongrel Punt Footy Show.
What do you think about what happened last week with the behind-the-play incidents and Sheedy coming out during
A
the week?
relaxed and entertaining roundup of weekly games with Howard, Warwick and Cameron.
Early on, but they lost it. I thought they were going to do all right, but they still can't take a trick against the Eagles.
Oh, I think Matthew gets enough attention.
The Mongrel Punt Footy Show, here on Channel 31.
I'd like to thank our many viewers who continue to phone in to the station with their support.
Mansfields Melbourne is your guide to what's on in Melbourne.
Martin Pettit from Pettit Real Estate out
Local events, celebrities and billboards presented by local radio announcer Bruce Mansfield.
Together, not just the apron, obviously, it's the shirts, the pants.
The day when Australian cricketer Keith Miller was born in Sunshine in 1919.
Mansfields Melbourne, weeknights at 5:30 and Saturdays at 6, here on Channel 31.
With the weather forecast. Today fine with sunny periods and a light wind, a maximum of 20 degrees. Tomorrow fine and sunny periods with a fresh wind. An overnight low tonight of 9 degrees and a top tomorrow of 20 degrees. On Friday a shower or two and 16 degrees. On Saturday fine and 18 degrees. And that's all for the weather for the moment. I'll have further weather details for you shortly. Now it's over to Keith and Adam for more of Midweek at the Races. I'll see you again soon.
Well, thank you very much, Morella. This looked like something from the Crown Jewels, that necklace there on Morella, Adam.
Very impressive, wasn't it? Yes.
Sparkling.
Came across very well on the TV. She's chosen well.
OK, let's see if we can do the same at Bendigo. Now, this is race 3. Do you want a quick look at the tote holds before we go up to Hutchie?
Yeah, I think Hutchie's just about ready, and he's got going to have Rick McIntosh with him, the caller today, to go through the meeting. But we'll have a look at the totes. Very staggered. $2 even for Otopopo. Hutchie's best of the day was in this race. It was number 7, Smooth Choice. I think he'd love some of that $7.70 and $2.20. That won't hold up at all. Otopopo, obviously one of the chances, but 2 even is silly odds to say to the least. And Sumo Glen is at $8.50, but I wouldn't take too much notice of that betting market at all. Someone's obviously fancies Otopopo, and they've had about, well, I'd say about 1,000 or more on it
each
when
way.
The pool's very small at the moment. Yeah, so. Anyway, I think Hutchie's standing by, so we might cross up to Bendigo now where he's got Rick McIntosh. No?
No, that's not happening. So Hutchie, this will be his 3rd cup of tea coffee today. If he's so he's not. Okay, so Hutchie's best bet. Let's leave Bendigo Harness for a tick and have a look at the next tote board at Sandown. This is race 4. This is the first leg of the quaddie at Sandown today. It's going to be a very wide quaddie. We mentioned earlier a degree of surprise that the opening favourite was number 9 Gold Gun. It was very skinny early doors. It's out to 460 now. It has got good form. 2 wins and twice runner-up at its past 4 starts, 2 before and 2 after a spell. And it does have Greg Child, so it's got a lot going for it. We'll run you through the other quaddie races. Race 5 at Sandown. Open quaddie today. This one is 11-2 virtually the field, and the favourite there, number 5 Stars and Stripes from the John Hawkes stable. You can see that others in the betting there include numbers 1 Zale, 3 Video Kid, 4 Straight Clip, 7 Pass the Cigar, 8 Dusty Poet, 9 Gold Time and 11 Killer Cuda. Race 6 at Sandown. We'll have a quick peep at these, where the favourite is the shorty of the day, Feliz Navidad, means Merry Christmas in Spanish. And here it is in Maypole dancing at Sandown. Number 2 is Sly Sandra, and others in the betting include at 13.70. Sorella number 4 is in the market, and you can see the others there. And the final leg of the quaddie at Sandown, the open 7th race, number 4 Godina is the favourite at this stage of betting at 5 even. You can see that deliciously. Number 1, 2 Crestina. To some extent, numbers 3 and 6 and 14 are in those markets also. Let's go to leave Sandown and go to Hutchie now at Bendigo.
Thanks very much, Keith. I have Fame McEwen with me. I think Adam was expressing his surprise at how short the favourite was here in this race. Well, I've got Faye McEwen with me here. See if she can shed some light on it because she trains Otopopo. Is that how you say it, Faye?
Yes, that's how you say it. Yep. No, I don't really know why he's so short either. He's a bit green in his races, but he also hasn't had any luck. So maybe people saw his run at Yarra Glen where he had absolutely no luck and was pushed wide. And so yeah, he should. If he behaves himself, he should be in the finish here.
Now, you've brought this one out from New Zealand, like you have with many of them. Has that been a successful situation? I noticed that you've got a couple of good fillies, including Computerised, that runs Saturday night, but even Call a Cab later in the day, ex-New Zealander?
Yes, they are ex-New Zealanders.
Have you given up trying to buy Victorians? Or?
I have. They're just, I think they're unrealistic with the prices, and we can get nice horses from New Zealand that are ready to go to the races, and most of the maidens. And suits our syndicate, and that's what we do.
Now, Otopopo, it's only had the 2 starts. New Zealand form was nothing to write home about. Do you get tapes for these horses, or who looks for these horses for you?
We've got a personal friend down in the deep south at Winton, and he just keeps an eye out and lets me know if there's something that he thinks might suit us, and we just take it from there. So far it's been good.
He's obviously a very good judge, because you have had a fair bit of success with these ones, and you wouldn't have had too many duds out of the ones you brought over.
No, we haven't had any. Well, there's been a couple that have just gone ordinary, but then again, we knew that they were sort of ordinary horses. But he's a owner, trainer, driver, breeder, and he drives them and assesses them on the price, etc.
Otopopo, what about gate speed?
Yeah, he's got good gate speed, but just not sure whether he'll back off. You know, if he gets sort of too fired up, he's inclined to want to get pulling a bit. So.
Well, it's only 1935, so I suppose, and you have to be up there at Bendigo.
Oh, you certainly have to. I think the sprint lane's been a great thing for Bendigo, though, because it sort of gives many horses a chance.
Yeah.
I think it's used to the advantage best here.
Yeah, so you're a sprint lane fan then?
Yeah, I like them, yeah.
Now, I better put you under the pump for later on in the day. Call a Cab, because it's going to be one of the main chances in the second leg of the quaddie, race 5, although there are a couple that will be backed against it, Classical Gem and Bantry. Call a Cab's won his last 4, but he hasn't raced since November.
No, he's had a few little niggling feet problems. He hasn't got very good feet, that horse, and we've had a few problems with him, but he's a very nice horse. Yeah, so
is he forward enough to win today? I mean, he's drawn an ordinary barrier.
Well, he's out of the draw, of course.
Oh, well, there you go. He's going to draw that whatever happens.
Yeah, he hasn't sort of been ready to put back in it yet either. He just sort of went through the learning process as a 3-year-old, and he won't be far away. He trialled very well here the other night.
Computerised Saturday night in a very good 3-year-old fillies race. You were mentioning to me before when we first started talking off camera that you're disappointed with the barrier because all those horses were all in the one draw.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I was disappointed but there's obviously the need for the AOs to have a run down there, and they haven't won one, so.
You're in a good field, but I think I marked your favourite in the race. She's a nice filly, Computerised, but the better one, Posh Jack, a bit of an injury problem at the moment?
She's got a bit of a back problem. I've had her treated, and she's back in work now, so we're just bringing her along slowly and hope she'll recover.
Now, you're up at Echuca?
At Elmore, actually.
Elmore, oh, well, just down the road from Echuca. You're a Welsh originally, but...
That's right, Welsh originally.
Yeah.
It's been in the blood for a long time.
Gee, all that area. Were you in Sydenham at all?
Yes, I was there with Dad.
I remember your dad being there, and you drive through Sydenham now. It's totally different, isn't it?
I know, it's depressing, actually. When I drive through and see all Dad's land built on, I'm not real pleased.
Yeah, oh, well, you've gone to the country, and I guess you like the country life.
Yeah, it's a great place to train horses at Elmore. There'd be 50 horses trained at Elmore, and you've always got somebody to have a run with. And the track's a very good restricted meeting track, and you know,
you're very central to everywhere, aren't you?
Yeah, we are. It's sort of, well, Melbourne's 2 hours, so that's probably as far as we go.
All right, Faye, good to catch up with you on Channel 31, and let's hope they all go well, but especially this one, Otopopo, in race 3, favourite, $2.60 odd, and let's hope you're in the winner's circle later on.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Faye. I better have a look at this race for the punters now on Channel 31. I think Otopopo is going to be very hard to beat. Also, let me just turn to the right page here. I did make Smooth Choice my best bet of the day, actually, number 7. Now, it's good value, Smooth Choice, at $6. I was basically looking at it as an each-way chance, Smooth Choice. It was a terrific run at Wangaratta last start, sitting outside the leader behind Like Fun. It was only in the last 50 metres they got it, and it's a non-TAB meeting form. Has been very good too. It's won 3 of those races and virtually comes into a maiden race here having won 3 races. So I like number 7, Smooth Choice. Faye was making excuses for Otopopo at Yarra Glen. I thought it was a touch ordinary Otopopo, but we'll certainly know today from this much better barrier. Barrier 4 drew barrier 3 on that occasion, so it obviously didn't show a lot of gate speed. The other one in the race I thought had a chance was number 4, Feeling Hot. Is $12 on the TAB, so obviously it isn't feeling too hot at this stage. It'll probably be improved by the run. I'm 7.54. Other chance, I didn't think the 9 was hopeless. General Tom was well fancied at St Arnaud last start, didn't have a lot of luck, and it's gone for a bit of a break since. And 10, the Sheriff, is trained here locally by Brian Gath. No, it's not really in the market, and you would expect it to be a lot shorter if it was fancied for a first up tilt today, but has some ability, the Sheriff. 7.54. This race isn't as closed as perhaps the TAB or the tote figures indicate. I did think it was a special Smooth Choice, but it's the right odds for a good each way go at it.
Well, interesting comments here from Hutchie, Adam, with at the right odds for a good each way go at number 7, Smooth Choice.
Well, Hutchie said this morning that this was his best. He said it's not an odds-on best bet, but he thought if he could get around 7-4, which on TAB figures is $2.80, then you're doing pretty well. Well, gee, it's been $7.70 into $5.70, so there's no dramas at all getting the $2.80. In fact, it's firmed in again now to $4.90. I speak of number 7, Smooth Choice. Favourite is still Otopopo at $2.50, the 5 horse. Others in contention are numbers 6, 9 and 10, all around about the $9 mark. The 6 horse, in fact, now is at about $8.60. Number 9 and number 10, which is General Tom and the Sheriff, are both around about the $10 mark. You can see them on screen now.
And the order of favouritism.
Yeah, that's something we need to note, isn't it, when we have a look at them at this stage. The Reed Technologies enables us to do things a little bit differently, and I think this is a wonderful way to display the odds just before the race. Rather than have them in order of down the race book, we show them to you in order of favouritism, so you can see just where your horse ranks in according or in comparison.
There's a few guns out for the Sheriff here. Number 10 at $16.90 into $9.40, Adam.
Yeah, well, it's only had the one start. It ran 7th. It's got Brian Gath, but against it is the back row. I can't emphasise enough what an advantage drawing the front row is here at Bendigo, especially if you can lead. If we go back to the Bendigo Breeders' Crown, they had 3 finals for the Trotters, for the Fillies and for the Colts and Geldings, and it was no surprise, Keith, to see that the winner of each event led all the way. And that is a trend that is becoming very evident at Bendigo. It's a good track. I'm not criticising it at all, but what I'm saying is that in comparison to a lot of other tracks, you've really got to place emphasis on those horses that can race on the speed.
Is that part of the complex in the background?
Yes, it is. That's some stables out the back. I'm just wondering whether that may have something to do with the Bendigo School. I think it has the TAFE course that they offer up there. I think they're the stables where they keep some of the horses they work on there. It is a wonderful setup up there now at Lord's Raceway, and it's a real showplace for harness racing. There's no question about that. The facilities are very good.
Sorry.
No, that's...
I was just going to get back to the betting on this race. It's a very interesting betting, Jill, because Hutchie's tip continues to firm number 7. It's in at $3.90 and $1.60 now. But the supporters of this favourite aren't to be thwarted, are they? It's holding ground at $2.40.
I'm sure Hutchie thinks that the 7 should be favourite. It's not going to start favourite, but it is going to tumble in. Expect it to get into, well, I'd say about $3.50 or so when they get away here. Otopopo's a favourite. You can see it in the... I think from memory they're sort of white and black, predominantly white and black colours. You'll see them. It's actually barrier 4 but TAB number 5. Here's Rick McIntosh.
Set and away and driven out with very vigorously with the whip here was Bobby Chatter. Trying to keep out on the outside there, Big Day Out, and wider still was Feeling Hot, and also Otopopo and Smooth Choice. But despite Bobby Chatter being driven hard, he still hasn't held the front quite clearly yet, although now with the advantage of the inside, he might just keep out Big Day Out, who is a metre in front but can't cross at the moment. They're followed to third place now, but a little bit deep out, continuing to go forward, Feeling Hot. Behind them, driving right through off the second row, General Thomas up running fourth. They're followed by Oda Popo, who's 3 wide. Next in the race, Wanderlunga on the inside. Around the outside of it, Sermo Glen, Smooth Choice in that 3 wide line. 5 metres, Seattle Seahawk. And 5 metres off at the tail end of the field was the Sheriff. Lead time in 23.9, and they're at the 1200 metre mark now. And Big Day Out worked like the devil, but got to the front first quarter in 30.7. Second on the outside is Oda Popo, and third the inner was Bobby Chatter. 1 by 1 Feeling Hot, still 3 deep, Smooth Choice going forward, tracked in turn now by Seattle Seahawk. 3 back along the inner, Wanderlunga. Around it, General Tom getting shuffled back. Sermo Glen's into that 3 wide line, and the Sheriff is last of all. It's been a keen affair so far, and at the post with a lap to go. 8.50 out now. It's just in front, Big Day Out from Oda Popo, the favourite, running second, and Smooth Choice has been 3 deep since the start, getting to third, second quarter in 31.5. Bobby Chatter is fourth on the leader's back. Feeling Hot's in the centre, and Seattle Seahawk getting a beautiful trail in out 3 deep. Then Wanderlunga on the inside of General Tom. Sermo Glen 3 wide and 3 back, and 4 metres away is the Sheriff at the tail of the field. 500 metres out down the back, and Big Day Out showing some signs of tiredness here, has passed now on the outside by Oda Popo. Getting into second placing Smooth Choice. They've both done their share of work. Feeling Hot gets through to third. They're followed by Seattle Seahawk, about to peel. It might be the fresh one. Sermo Glen to the outside. Then General Tom trying to weave through from Bobby Chatter. The Sheriff is a long way back with Wanderlunga. 30 seconds the third quarter. Homeward bound Oda Popo the leader. After it quickly Seattle Seahawk. Then Smooth Choice and Feeling Hot. The front runner still Oda Popo. Seattle Seahawks had the better run. It's trying to get to it, but Oda Popo's in front, and Oda Popo's going to win it. Oda Popo first, 1.5 metres to Seattle Seahawk. Third is a close photo between Feeling Hot and Smooth Choice, and without any doubt at all, Wanderlunga, it's ran fifth. It should have run a place. It got badly held up near the post. Followed behind it by Sermo Glen, and also General Tom, the Sheriff, Bobby Chatter, and Big Day Out was one of the last in the final quarter, 30.2.
Yeah, gee, that was a very solidly run race, and you can't take anything away from the winner here, Oda Popo. Max Wishart did its share of work early on when they were really hiking. There was a battle for the lead, and hasn't it rallied strongly here for favourite punters. 240 and 120.
Watch the pink near the back of the field. What's its name?
Wanderlunga it is, the bottom horse, number 11. It has absolutely motored home through the middle. You can see it's almost, well, it has run into trouble near home, but yep, it was the eye-catching run. It's finished about 5th, and, well, had it been able to weave a course through, it might have been able to get up and win in about another 20 metres. But anyway, the prize goes to Oda Popo, and I couldn't fault its performance at all. That was a terrific win today. 240 and 120 for Max Wishart. Hutchie spoke to Faye McEwen before the race. Well, Faye said it was a little bit green, but it did a lot of work today, as we highlight the run here of Wanderlunga, who was a clear last about 30 metres back. Have a look at it. You don't see horses finish like this.
Well, he was going to eventually run into a dead end, but he had the momentum up, and the gaps kept coming until right on the line when
he's actually run into the back of the winner.
That's right.
That's how well he was
Big
going on the post,
wasn't it?
Just waiting on this photo for third. It will be 5 Oda Popo ahead of number 8 Seattle Seahawk. Every possible chance, driven beautifully by David Aitken, but was a little weak in the home straight. It was entitled to get there, and we're just waiting. Number 7, Smooth Choice, has got third. So 5, 8 and 7 on Bendigo race 3. Just missing third was number 4, Feeling Hot, who did some work early to get outside the leader, then had a nice sit on the back of Oda Popo. Can't really make any excuses for Feeling Hot. And Smooth Choice was left to make a 3-wide run a long way from home. Has battled on quite strongly to get third. Nothing wrong with its performance, but the honours squarely going to Oda Popo. Smooth Choice, a good effort for third, and the eye-catcher, number 11, Wanderlunga, as totes come through. Oda Popo, 240 and 120. Seattle Seahawk, 390. Smooth Choice, 160. The Quinellas returned $21.80. The trifecta's up now at $109 even, and a very popular running double air on races 2 and 3 at Bendigo for numbers 3 and 5, a return of $6.90. And boy, haven't they hiked along there. 201.7 the mile rate. 62.2 the first half, And, yep, you can see they got a little bit weary near home, but still a good win to Otopopo, 60.2 the last half.
Adam, there's the official print, and weren't they jammed up behind the Quinella horses?
Yeah, you often see that when the front runners are getting tired in the home straight, but Otopopo did find a lot there. Seattle Seahawk got close to it and looked as though it was going to win probably about 80 metres off the line, but yeah, it's just a little bit disappointing for mine, Seattle.
Okay, it's not an appropriate time because we're bearing down on the first leg of the quaddy at Sandown, but I would like to raise that matter of times with you. I, like a lot of viewers, don't have a strong understanding of the significance of the time, so we'll get you to explain that. We might even try and freeze a shot.
Well, if we can get a picture of that semaphore board we had before, and that's a wonderful innovation in harness racing. Don't know whether the boys, no, they haven't got it there, but...
we'll do that perhaps next race.
Yeah, if we can do that.
You might be able to explain, well, primarily first how to read it, and then the influence of it and the importance of it, okay?
Good idea, Keith, because it's crucial in harness racing.
Right, now we're going to Johnny Bell in just a tick, but here's another glimpse of the form card for race 4. This is the first leg of the quaddie. You have only 6 minutes now to get your bets, especially your quaddies, on this, because the reward will be great today with this wide open fields and 3 of the 4 legs. And the shortest prize favourite through the quaddies, race 6, number 1, Fearless Navadad. This is going to be a tough test. The favourite on the tote, number 9, Gold Gun, and you can see that the top 9 are all given chances, tote-wise, in this race, and down towards the bottom there are others as well. So we'll get comments with 6 minutes to go from John Bell to lead us into getting over this very important first leg of the quaddie. Johnny?
Well, it is a tough one, Keith. The punters have had a little bit of trouble working this race out, but the supporters come in for number 9, Gold Gun. Originally easy in the betting, opened up at the each-way quote, drifted a half point. That's been knocked right off now. It's come in a full point, around the $4.50 mark, and he's going to start a clear-cut favourite. The record to date, 11 starts for 2 wins and 8 seconds. Doesn't mind getting beaten, but it'll be out in front and certainly be the one to run down. I've got Stephen Alderson with me here, who is representing his father, Colin, with Planet King in this race. And Steve, the horse is resuming from a long spell today. Had some problems?
Yeah, he had a little bit of a setback last season when he was in, or early this season when he was in Brisbane, and hasn't raced for a while.
Yeah, well, you took him up to Brisbane. He really ran through his classes quite easily up there.
Yeah, he doesn't appreciate soft tracks. That's the reason why he went to Brisbane. And some keen form students will have noticed he's been in a few times and scratched a few times. And we've got to a stage where we've had to send him around today on this track. And hopefully it's not too bad and he handles it all right.
So obviously having him nominated and entered a few times, he would have done a fair amount of work since you've missed those runs. Yeah, he's done a little bit of work. He's probably, because we've had to scratch him so many times, he's had a little bit of interrupted preparation towards the end. Well, you've got Ripon Jugar in race 5, the second leg of the quaddie. A chance today?
Probably just a place chance, I think. He hasn't been going as well as I would have liked in his work, but if he runs up to his best, which he has done here before on a couple of occasions, he's a chance to run a place.
Well, your dad's over in Adelaide gearing up for La Volta in the South Australian Oaks on Saturday. Pretty important race, considering there's a $600,000 bonus. She hasn't drawn too well, but gee, if she can get some cover, she's going to be the one to beat.
Yeah, obviously she's the one to beat. She's only coming against the same fillies that she beat last time. The 2,500, some concern, but if good jockey Danny Brereton on top, and I think he'll give her every possible chance, and hopefully she can come through with the goods.
We can just quickly go back to Saturday, the South Australian Derby. You had Ancient City and Our Unicorn. What's in store for those two horses now?
Well, Our Unicorn's actually come back to Melbourne, and in the next couple of days a decision will be made whether to put him to the spelling paddock or he may possibly go back for the St Ledger in Adelaide. And Ancient City's actually accepted for the Adelaide Cup on Monday, but a decision will be made in the next couple of days whether he'll be running also.
Okay, Steve, well, best of luck with your 2 runners today.
Thanks very much, John.
Stephen Alderson there, representing the Colin Alderson camp, and Planet King is in the market to some degree. He's just got out to around the $10 mark, so the tote's right on at the moment. Gold Gun has drifted that half point, but we'll have a look at all the betting in this race, because it has chopped and changed a lot, and punters are having a fair amount of difficulty trying to work this race out, as the tote reflects with a $5.30 favourite. Number 1, Captain Cordes. Look for him to improve back to the 1,000 metres today. He's just found the 1,200 a little bit too far in his last 2 runs, and judging by that, he's run 2 starts back behind Stars and Stripes when beaten just a length and a half. Is pretty good form for a race like this. He opened up at $5.50. He's drifted a full point out to $6.50, so he's around about his right price on the tote. Number 2, Busy Toy. Worked home fairly first up at Wangaratta. Normally does improve second up, and he is capable on his day. The only query is probably wants it a little bit wetter than what we are racing on today. Drifted 2 points in the market out to 3 times the each way quote. Number 3, Celtic Glass. We heard from Gary Fennessy from the Hayes camp earlier on. Gives this horse a pretty good chance. Has been easy in the betting ring to the tune of 1.5 points. And now bookmakers are offering $7.50, so you're a shade under on the tote there. Number 4, Lucky Tycoon. We spoke to John Maher also, who warned that the horse may want the ground a little bit wetter than what it is today. Is right in the market, opened up equal favourite, has drifted a full point out to $6, so a shade under on the tote. You see it trimming up there on the tote into actual favourite now at $5.30, not quite the case in the betting ring. Number 5, News Force from the Sweeney camp, who won the last race, has drifted a full point out to $9, but still represents a touch of value on the tote. Number 6, Roy, also should relish the return to 1,000 metres here. Form before its last start failure was pretty good in weaker races. Easy with the bookmakers to the tune of 2 points, $8 with the bookmakers, so you're getting a little bit of overs there. Lucky Rule has drifted a full point out to the double each way quote. Planet King opened the double each way quote, has drifted a point. Gold Gun is chopping and changing, opened up at $4, opened up at $5, got to $6. That was knocked off by 1.5 points, and now has eased a point. So it's at the each way quote, retaining favouritism at $5. The bottom 4 horses not fancied at all, so it really appears to be in the top 9. And of those, barring Busy Toy, I think any one of those could win. Now, we're getting pretty close to a start here. I've tipped Lucky Tycoon. I think he's got a bit of class. He's just firmed in a little bit in the betting ring now, and he's going to run one of the highly fancied picks in this race. He's second favourite now, a half point behind Gold Gun. Lucky Tycoon on top from 3 Celtic Lass and 1 Captain Cortez. Watch for Gold Gun. He'll make the speed and prove pretty hard to beat. We've only got 1 to move in. It looks like the grey Busy Toy behind the line to take its place for the first leg of the quaddie here at Sandown in what looks a pretty difficult quaddie. Good luck if you've had a try. The last runner's lined up. Here's Brian Martin.
Coming along. And they look to be set to run now. Light blinking away. Set to go. Stalls are back and they're off and running this time. They came away in a fair line too on the outside. Lucky Rule bounced away quickly. With it is Busy Toy and Celtic Glass out fast when they settle down. Further out is Gold Gun showing good speed and the whiter colours starting to come over. When they settle now, Lucky Rule, Gold Gun going up to Celtic Glass from just behind those Fruit and Veg from Captain Cortez. Further back in the race in Ticonderoga over on the inside, Rare Amber. Lucky Tycoon gets back with News Force followed by Roy. Second to last up to the home turn is Viva the Cab when they come down with about 500 metres to go, and Planet King last of all. Into the straight, Gold Gun out in the middle. Celtic Glass is over on the inside of it. They're 2 in front of Lucky Rule, and further back in the race, Fruit and Veg. They're followed over on the inside by Rare Amber and getting a run through Lucky Tycoon and Busy Toy coming down the outside with Roy from News Force. It's Gold Gun on the outside and Celtic Glass with 150 to go. They're clear from Lucky Tycoon getting home on the inside. Gold Gun in front from Celtic Glass and Lucky Tycoon. Gold Gun just in front. Lucky Tycoon dived at it. Gold Gun may have hung on from Lucky Tycoon. Not much in it. Third home Celtic Glass. They're followed by News Force, and on the outside Busy Toy and Roy. Then Captain Cortez over on the inside. Then came Ticonderoga further back then in the race. Fruit and Veg pulling up quickly. With it Lucky Rule after the line, followed by Planet King, Rare Amber and Viva a Cab.
Well, they're the 3 in the photo, maybe 9 according to the caller. Gold Gun at 5.70 and 2.10. The other one in the photo flashing through on the inside, Lucky Tycoon, was number 4, 180. And 3 Celtic Glass, there's no doubt that it's got third Karen McAvoy's first placing, and 9 has got it Gold Gun. So Gold Gun hanging on to beat number 4 Lucky Tycoon, and third number 3 Celtic Glass, 9, 4 and 3. Well, it was a surprise when it opened so short. It was finally displaced as favourite, and at $5.70 went to the post as the third in betting order. Number 9 Gold Gun, and there's the margin it's won by. It was quite...
did look closer, didn't it?
It did look closer.
Probably another bound, and there wouldn't have been anything between those two. So fast was Lucky Tycoon finishing along the inside. Here we pick up the action now, and at this stage it did look as though Gold Gun was travelling pretty well within itself. It appeared to have Celtic Glass beaten on its inside. Had a little bit of a job to shake off Celtic Glass, and watch for the Mar-trained runner Lucky Tycoon to, well, at this stage it looks to be struggling, but it starts to knuckle down, and Yeah, gee, don't they look to be running away from Lucky Tycoon here, but...
It was a nice ride by Greg Charles. He always seemed to control the race.
You're right.
Leading on Gold Gun and without really pushing him until he had to at this point of the race.
He's got something left for when Lucky Tycoon comes, and you can see only hands and heels. He's asking the horse to give everything over the final stages, and Lucky Tycoon does flash on the inside, but that's actually after the line when Lucky Tycoon's got close. So 5.70 and 2.10. Popular start to the quaddie today, beating the favourite number 4 Lucky Tycoon, which went out at $4.90. And Celtic Lass was the other favourite runner, $1.90 the place. So Quinella $11.50. Very popular trifecta, $99.40. And the running double you needed was on the numbers 1 and 9 for a return of $56.70, which is a huge dividend because the previous winner started favourite.
Yeah, virtually 2 favourites. Okay, you used the word popular a bit there, and it's this winner, Adam Gold Gun, is owned by popular VATC committee man Kevin Heffernan in partnership with Mark Wiley, who trains the horse. Kevin was the dual originator with the late Dennis Gowring of Kevin Dennis Motors.
Oh, okay.
And Kevin Heffernan has been a long-serving committee man of the VATC, and there's his horse. All of his horses, he's raced so many over the years, start with their first word is gold. So he's had many quality horses over many, many years, and he's another horse striking gold for Kevin, Gold Gun. Here's John Bell with post-race news from Sandown.
Yeah, I've got Mark Riley here with me, the winning trainer. And Mark, the horse took a while to break his maiden, but now he's found the line. He seems to be going ahead.
Yes, we thought first of all on the horse in his early preparation that he'd handle wet tracks, and because of the horse's consistency on the wet tracks, but it's been more than evident that he's not a real wet track horse. He didn't handle the track the other day when it was heavy at Tatura, and although he looked the winner early in the straight at Tatura, he didn't get to the line, and today he did.
Well, it's an important win for you, Kevin Heffernan, first winner you've had for him.
First city winner for him, yes. It's the first horse I've had for Kevin, and today's been a great thrill and a big achievement for me to win a race in town for him, and especially at the VATC where he's on the committee here.
Well, he does love his racing, doesn't he?
He definitely does, for sure.
Well, Gold Gun, is 1,000 about his limit?
No, I think the horse will run 1,100, 1,200 metres, but he's just got to be back on top of the ground. It's more than obvious.
All right, Mark, well, congratulations. A good, tough win there by Gold Gun.
Thank you.
Mark Riley there, the trainer of Gold Gun, who did come in for some good support early on. He was 4s to 5s and then into 7 to 2 before starting a 4 to 1 favourite and fought off the fast finishing Lucky Tycoon, who got up along the fence, and Celtic Lass, who you see in the middle there, who raced on the inside of Gold Gun the entire trip, but fitness just gave out over the final stages, and Gold Gun proving too good, and probably a pretty popular start to the quaddie there, starting a 4 to 1 favourite.
Thanks, John. Interesting runner in the next race now is Pass the Cigar. This is the horse that trained by Lee Friedman that showed or promised so much early in his career, and then had a lot of problems and was off the scene from March the 22nd, 97 until the 11th of April this year. So it was off the scene for 13 months, ran an eye-catching first up 6th at Caulfield, and ran a dreadful eye-catching last at Moonee Valley at the last night meeting recently.
There have been a lot of excuses made for that run. That was one of the meetings, obviously the night meeting we covered here. I think the steward's report was quite extensive on that occasion, but are you willing to forgive and forget?
Well, I think so. I mean, it was a dismal last. He was beaten 13.5 lengths, but Lee pointed out that his rider, Jimmy Ting, from Hong Kong, wasn't of much help to Pass the Cigar when it dropped out last. And also, horses on the night were getting a bit of stuff thrown up at them, and sort of none of the back markers were making ground. But on the other side of the ledger, Lee made the comment that it couldn't catch the other back markers anyway. But it has had significant gear changes. And Pass the Cigar will wear blinkers for the first time today. So he will improve, and it's all problematical whether he can improve enough to win. That's race 5. There's the market. We'll take a short break. You're watching Midweek at the Races on Channel 31.
Sunday at the Races has all the gallops and trotting action from around Victoria.
Become one. They power through the gate. The race has begun.
Join Keith Hillier and Bill Hutchison for up-to-date race results, race tips and live coverage of events. Sunday at the Races with Keith Hillier and Bill Hutchison, live on Channel 31. Vivace, Melbourne's only fine music program, can be seen Tuesdays at 8:30.
So my second one, I wanted to focus on a neglected composer.
Performers from all over Melbourne showcase their work in a variety of styles. Interviews and performances from some of Australia's best up-and-coming artists.
The jazz band, The Swing Thing.
Fine music on Vivace, each Tuesday at 8:30 here on Channel 31.
Hello, I'm Mirella Killingsworth with the weather forecast. Today fine and sunny with a light wind, a maximum of 20 degrees. Tomorrow fine and sunny with a fresh wind, an overnight low of 9 degrees and a maximum of 20 degrees. On Friday a shower or 2 and 16 degrees. On Saturday fine and 18 degrees. And now for the current temperatures. Remember, Channel 31 is the only television station in Melbourne to give you hourly suburban temperatures. And Geelong Airport and Mount Dunedin 17.6. Melbourne Airport and Fawkner 19.8, Laverton and Williamstown 20.7, Cerberus and Blairgowrie 17.1, Moorabbin and Braeside 19.9, Frankston and Pearsdale 17.3, Mount Dandenong and Olinda 15.7. In Prahran and here in the city the temperature is 20.6 degrees. That's all for the weather for the moment. I'll see you again soon with further weather details. I hope you're enjoying your afternoon with us. And now it's back to Keith and Adam with more of Midweek at the Races. See you later.
Okay, see you later, Morello. Thanks for that. Next race at Bendigo is the first leg of the quaddie. What's your overview of the Bendigo quaddie today, Adam?
Could go two ways. There's going to be a couple of shorties in it. Bantry in the second leg will be reasonably short, but yeah, if we happen to get it beaten, the potential's there for a pretty big dividend. I know the third leg's wide open, but Hutchie's standing by, so we might get Hutchie to join it. No? Not quite standing by yet. So he's into that tea today, isn't he?
Sorry?
He couldn't be having another cup of tea, could he?
No, I think he's just trying to get the earpiece through that ample crop of hair that I've enviously noted. The favourite here at odds that equate to 6-4 is Riddles.
Yeah, that's too short. It's not a one-outer. It's probably the one to beat, but chances definitely to the C Train, number 1. Number 7, No Nuke Susie, is definitely right in this race. I thought, yeah, maybe even New Year Dancer perhaps. The 11 might be worth putting in, and Guardian Spirit would have a hope as well. $2.50 for Riddles is favourite at the moment, but we'll get Hutchie's thoughts on the quaddie as we go through. We might have a look at the totes on the second leg, which is race 5 today, and we can see $2.90 here for Bantry. Has a good early speed, this horse. Second pick and an undeniable chance in the race is the very promising number 11, Call a Cab. We saw Max Wishart win for trainer Faye McEwen with Otapopo in race 3, the previous event. Same combination joined together with Call a Cab here, and you can see it's kept very safe. Bantry, Call a Cab, big watch on the Kiwi first starter. It's number 2, Classical Gem. Number 1, Winter Nuke, is very honest and has got a definite hope from there. The 9 horse wouldn't be the roughest, and perhaps even the other one I fancied with a little hope is number 5, Aztec Bandit. Let's go over to race 6, see what's in the betting here. This is definitely the hardest leg of the quaddie today. If you can afford it, put the field in here. Number 1, First or Best at $3.10, $6.30 for Like Fun, $7 for Dreamworks, Del Sherry and Illawong David. I had no idea in this race. We'll see whether Hutchie can cut it down, but take the field if possible. And in the last leg, race 7, we have a look over here. You'll see $1.90 for Expedition. Well, that's just silly odds. Don't take any notice of that at this stage. That's a Chris Elford factor. Definite hope to Classic Shiraz is in the betting. Let Them Have It's got a hope. Tucky Man will be hard to beat. And Jackaman for Gavin Lang, number 12, has got a hope as well. And is Hutchie ready yet?
He is. On Sunday when Hutchie recommended we put the leg in the field in one leg of the quaddie, up bobbed a winner at $106. I think it was.
Did he get the rest of it though? No, of course not.
Well, some strange names in this one, so to sort out the race, let's go to Happy Boy in Hutchie.
Thanks, Keith. Thanks. I was just looking at the later on races you were talking about, so I better get back to this one and have a run through them. Won the Sea Train. Look, it's not over and down with ability, the Sea Train, but it's a handy horse and it's honest. And it gets its chance here today from barrier 1 on this track because it can either lead or take the sit. As the former trainer walks past me, Jackie Caldo, is now retired. It's got a terrific each-way chance, the Sea Train, but it's short enough at $3.90. 2, JJ Kentucky's not racing well enough. I'm looking elsewhere there. 4, Negated Finance had a bit of ability last time in work. Hasn't raced since January. The tote at $15 odd tells me that there's a little bit of a tip around for it. 5, Riddles. It's got to be top tip on what it did last time in. Its form was good. It started 6-4 favourite in a race here of much better quality back in November. Hasn't raced since November the 19th, but is a Bendigo trial winner here in reasonable time. 6, Eponine Bromax not racing well. It's got Gavin Lang. It's the only good thing you could say about it, I think. 7, No Nuke Susie. I spotted it running on very strongly at Ballarat a couple of weeks ago behind Sheer Style. I think it's well in the race, No Nuke Susie. Just drawn a little bit wide, and as you've seen today, you draw wide, you're in a terrible trouble unless you've got real good gate speed. 8, Clive Venus got ability, but from barrier 8 can run a place. 9, Happy Joy from the inside of the second line can run a place because it can trail through behind the Sea Train. 10, Guardian Spirit has got a rough chance in the race. Gary Sargent's a good trainer. This one should be starting to shape up, or I reckon he should ship it out because it hasn't done much so far. But its last run indicated it's not that far away. That was the 7th at Shepparton back in April. And 11, New Year Dancer's got some ability, but I think it looks well held from the draw. I'm 5-1-7 in the race. 5 Riddles to beat. 1, the Sea Train. 7, No Nuke Susie. I'd be surprised if one of those 3 didn't win the race. Now, my guest, and we've had him on before, and he's a very entertaining man, actually, Merv Dillon. Merv, first of all, you've got one in later in the day. Where are we? Gold Tara in race 6.
Yes, Bill, we got a 3-year-old here. He runs, it's not a brilliant horse, but runs a lot of nice races, and he won his 3-year-old, the first 3-year-old, fairly early in the season, and been drawing the back row because you get handicapped out.
Bit of a problem, that move, isn't it? I've been on about this a little bit recently. It's good to see a 3A1 race here today where the horses, the 3-year-olds that have won one race, getting off the front.
Yeah, well, it's actually a 1 and a 2 here today, Bill, but it's mainly because the COs are a 4-year-old or better.
Yeah.
But no, you can get bad form while you're trying to win it. It's a nice one to try and win. And
a lot of guys sort of hang on to them for a long time trying to win that second race where they'd probably be better off going into a CO and perhaps racking up 3 or 4 wins rather than waiting 6 or 8 months to win their second race.
Yeah, you're probably quite right, Bill. And I went to Kilmore in a Vic bred